Hi, I'm Rachel with Ally Safety, and one of the most requested video topics on my channel is tips for taking the CSP or Certified Safety Professional exam. I originally took this exam back in 2015, so it's been a while, but I still wanted to provide you with the most up-to-date information I could. That's why, for today's video, I've teamed up with Brandy from Triangle Safety Consulting, who not only took the exam more recently, but who also published a guide to help you pass.
Hey everyone, my name is Brandy Bossle Zadoorian and I'm a Certified Safety Professional. I took the Certified Safety Professional exam in December of 2019, and I'm here to give you tips today to help you pass.
Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more content like this, and if you have questions or comments, make sure to let us know in the comments below. Without further ado, here are 10 tips to help you pass the CSP exam the first time. Tip number 1, take a prep course. The CSP exam is a great way to sharpen your skills and build credibility as a safety professional. However, it will definitely test you on some concepts that many of us may not be familiar with in our day-to-day work. For example, the reaction force at point 0 for the truss shown below is A, 3,700 pounds, B, 2,000 pounds, C, 5,000 pounds, or D, 7,500 pounds.
Huh?
Or this one. An electrical circuit consists of 5 resistors connected as shown in the diagram. The amount of power consumed by resistor 1 is A, 2,200 watts, B, 10 watts, C, 109 watts, or D, 220 watts. If you're not used to doing these problems, they may seem overwhelming, but they aren't really that difficult. The good news is a good prep course will walk you through step by step to make sure you feel comfortable with the material. Prep courses can also tell you everything you need to know about the exam, from the rules and what to bring to updated information on the focus areas. Although a prep course can be a bit of a financial investment, it's one that can really pay off, and most employers will help cover the costs.
Tip number 2, get familiar with practice questions. So when you go to study for the CSP exam, you are going to want to purchase a workbook to help you study. Now the workbook is going to have practice questions to help you get familiar with how these questions are phrased. It's going to help you be able to read the question effectively and to pick the best answer. Now, if you're looking for a CSP practice workbook, I created one with my company, Triangle Safety Consulting. It's called the Certified Safety Professionals Practice Workbook with questions, answers, and explanations. It's going to be linked in the description below.
Tip number 3, schedule your exam based on your estimate of how long you need to study. How I studied for the exams is I took a prep course and then I scheduled the exam about a month later. Now, the timeline will vary depending on how comfortable you are with the material. I was fairly comfortable with the material because I had gotten the ASP and the OHST in the previous 2 years and was already fairly in practice with taking the exam. So everything was still pretty fresh. I also knew I could probably only focus on studying for about a month, and I didn't want to have the exam hanging over my head any longer than that. So that provided me with enough motivation to really dig deep and study and feel motivated right up till test time. What I recommend is taking a prep course, then seeing how comfortable you feel with the material, and scheduling your exam based on how long you think you need to study. You want it to be a short enough window of time you'll be motivated to study, and not so long that you procrastinate.
Tip number 4, use note cards to study. So when I studied for the CSP exam, I used note cards. So on one side of the note card, you're gonna have a topic or a term, and on the other side, you're gonna have what exactly that term means or what that topic means. And what you want to do with these note cards is you want to look through them, and this will help you memorize and really retain these topics and terms that you are going to need to know for the CSP exam. Now, when you start using these note cards, you'll notice that you're getting some wrong. The ones you get wrong, you need to put back at the pile to look at again. The ones you get right, put to the side because it's likely that you've already committed those to memory. So the ones you got wrong, keep working on those until you're able to commit those to memory.
Tip number 5, take practice test after practice test. The key to studying is to do the practice questions and take the practice tests. Sometimes people make the mistake of delaying the practice tests because they don't feel ready yet. Trust me, I actually did this when I took the CIH exam, and that just delays when you'll actually be ready for the real exam. The sooner you start to take practice exams, the better you'll learn the material. What I did for the CSP is for each practice question I missed, I made a note card out of it, or if it was more of a mathematical problem, I reworked the problem. To be honest, it made for a tedious process of reviewing each test, but by the time the exam date rolled around, my practice exam scores were showing that I had a good chance of passing. Give yourself the opportunity to walk into exam day feeling good about your chances of passing.
Tip number 6, when taking the exam, answer every question. So when you go to take the exam, you're going to want to answer every question. So there's no disadvantage to guessing. So what I did is that I answered all the easiest questions for me first, and then I flagged the harder or more complicated questions. This really allowed me to focus my time on the questions I knew, and then at the end of the test, I was able to go back and look at all the flagged questions so I can focus a little more time on those. Because remember, the test is timed, so you really want to focus your time on the questions you know. And then the more complicated or the more questions that are going to take you longer, you kind of want to save to the end.
Tip number 7, utilize the process of elimination. When you're unsure of the answer, reduce your stress by using the process of elimination. The CSP exam is multiple choice with 4 options and only 1 correct answer. Whether you're looking at management system questions or advanced sciences and math questions, chances are there's going to be at least 1 answer that doesn't look correct to you. If you're able to eliminate just 1 option, you increase your chances of being correct from about 25% to 33%. Most often, you'll be deciding between 2 options that both seem reasonable. So, remind yourself, you've got a 50% chance of getting it right. Mark it to review before you submit at the end and then move on.
Tip number 8, guess before looking at the answers. So after you read a question, you're going to want to guess what the answer is in your head before looking at A, B, C, or D. This is going to help you eliminate some of the answers that are already there and then pick the best answer. Also, be sure to read the question carefully and make sure that you know exactly what they're asking for.
Tip number 9, outsmart the test. You will inevitably come across a question that leaves you completely unsure of how to answer. That's normal. In these cases, use strategic guessing to outsmart the test. Here are a few ways to guess intelligently that no one teaches you in school. If you're not sure of the answer and there's an option that either says all of the above or the opposite, none of the above, there's a 52% chance that that is the correct answer. So rather than having a 25% chance of guessing correctly, you just increased your odds to over 50%. Next, choose the longest answer. Test makers have to make sure that the correct answers are indisputably correct, which takes more of an explanation. On the other hand, they don't need to put as much effort into incorrect answers. If it's the longest answer, there's a good chance it's the correct one.
Tip number 10, breathe. So when you go to sit for the exam, before you press start, take a few deep breaths. You have prepared for the exam, you're ready to take it, Now take a few deep breaths before you press start and crush the exam and bring home those CSP credentials.
Those are 10 tips to help you pass the CSP exam. Let us know what you thought in the comments below. Share any tips that we missed and make sure to let us know how the exam goes for you.
If you're looking for a practice workbook to help you study for the CSP exam, make sure you check out the Certified Safety Professional Practice Questions, Answers, and Explanations Workbook. I created it just for safety professionals to help them pass the safety professional exam. We've gotten great reviews on our CSP workbook, and it's helped tons of professionals study for the CSP exam. If you're interested in the CSP workbook, make sure you check it out. It's going to be linked in the description below.
Thank you so much for watching, and until the next time, we'll see you guys later.